Hey, what's up, universe? Welcome to episode 37 of It's a Choice. And today I'm going to be talking about, choosing your own story. And I am super late getting this podcast out today. And what I'm going to share is a snippet from an audio journal that I recorded about an hour ago because there's just been a lot of stuff I've been processing. And, these audio journals are meant for me primarily. And I have shared some of them before. So there's just a section in there where I get excited about some thoughts, and I felt like it would make a good podcast. So that's why I'm going to share it with you. It's about getting connected with our stories and our beliefs, and something that a friend of mine, my partner, turned me on to, and just kind of just kind of made me aware of to use a tool in a certain way. And I just really connected with how this could be, at least for myself and maybe others, a profound way of getting connected to our stories, and by connecting in this way, giving us a real kind of kick in the ass to change those stories. And then just also a little bit of an example from my life about how I choose to interpret and see my current situation that I'm living. So anyway, I just wanted to preface this and let you know that the next piece coming up here is going to be from an audio journal. So it may sound a little bit different, definitely probably more animated than most of my previous episodes in some regards. Not that I haven't gotten animated or fiery in some of my episodes for sure. Anyway, thanks for listening. And without further ado, here is the meat of this episode. Right, so asking myself this question, about everything, about my current situation, whatever it is, and talking to myself. So what I wanted to do, right, to go on that tangent, to extend that further out, is as I'm coaching somebody, doing a webinar, whatever the case, whenever I'm talking to somebody else and I'm exploring this particular point, we're at this section of the talk where I'm okay, ask yourself the question, what fucking stories do you have, or what beliefs do you have about whatever it is you're thinking about? Think about the stories and the beliefs that you have about it. Now, what I want you to do before you get too far into thinking about it, actually, I'll have him preface this. I'll have him do this beforehand, right? The first thing to do, and I'm going to write this down too. I'm going to just make this number 1, and then number 2. Yeah. Okay, so the first thing that I'll have him do is open up Google Docs, right? And have the dictation thing ready. Be all right, make sure you're using a device that can listen to your audio. Okay, so here's the thing. Open up Google Docs. You don't title the document. You can if you want. Give it whatever, date it, whatever. Because that's not really the point. But the thing is, open up Google Docs, get the citation, get the dictation, your microphone ready, okay? Now, before you press the microphone, I want you to think of an area of your life that you've got something going on, right? A trauma, a pain point, something you don't like, either about yourself or a situation, or something that's frustrating you, or whatever. Pick something in your life, all right? Now, once you have that in your mind, okay, I want you to hit the microphone button, and I want you to speak out loud the beliefs and the stories that you have about that frustration point, or that pain point, or that trauma point, whatever it is. I want you to speak it, and I want you to see yourself create that reality. I want you to get in touch with the words and the stories that you're telling yourself, and how they are literally manifesting that reality. Because you're going to watch those words appear on your screen. You are creating those words on your screen by speaking them. This is what you're doing in your brain. This is how you're creating your literal fucking reality. Because even though you're not maybe speaking them aloud, you're speaking them in the void of your mind. You're speaking them with your mental fucking voice. You're speaking them nonetheless. Those words are still resonating out into the quantum field. Those thoughts, that imagery is still resonating out into the quantum field. You are creating that reality. Those are your stories. You are now writing your story. As true as you're writing it on the fucking page right now as you're speaking about it, it's true manifesting it out into the magnetic and quantum fields, the electromagnetic quantum field of reality. You're creating that. You're speaking it into existence. And I want people to literally fucking connect with that. I want people to like deeply connect with that. Yeah, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. So, for real. So that came to me and I was like, that is a fucking brilliant thing. That's a brilliant thing. That's a real good way. I'm like, dude, Jim needs to fucking start doing this. Joe Dispenza needs to start fucking telling people to do this. This is a tangible way to really cement for people. Like, so many people will connect with that. As they speak it, they'll be able to see it on the screen, and then they'll read it, and it will be fed back to them. Do you know how powerful it is to read your own fucking words? Do you know, like Michelle Kerr connected me with that, where she's like, I wrote out like 25 pages worth of stuff, and she's like, I could not believe what I was telling myself as she reread it. Because that's the thing, is like, you can have it in your mind and that's the story you're telling yourself, but when you speak it and you see it and you're able to connect with it, I just spoke that and it literally created those words on the screen. And then as I reread that story, I get to like read that, holy fucking shit, that's my story. That's my story. Oh my God, like look at what the fuck I'm creating. Look at what you just authored. You're the author of that fucking story. And we're the authors of the biggest fucking bullshit that we tell ourselves. And we love the bullshit that we fucking sell ourselves. We line up for the next book signing as soon as it can come out. When's the next shitty fucking novel coming out? Because I'm ready. I'm ready to eat it up. Sign that shit for me, baby. Sign it. I'll buy it. I'll buy it. I'll buy it all fucking day long. Fuck yeah, man. Get connected with that. Get connected with that. You'll stop eating that shit. You will stop eating that shit. Fuck yeah, you will. Fuck yeah, you will. When you start reading that and seeing, it's like looking in the fucking mirror. It's like looking in the fucking mirror, speaking it out, reading it, and connecting with it and being like, that kind of is that's the shit I've been telling myself. Be like, that's your words. Those are your fucking words. It's nobody else's words. Or if it is somebody else's words, it's somebody else's words that you took on as truth. You made those words your reality. It may not be your words, but nonetheless, it's your reality. It's what you put in your book. That's your gospel. That's the shit you've been living by. That's been your truth. Yeah. How many of you want to burn that fucking book? How many of you want to say, fuck this shit? This is in the burn pile. Fuck this. Yeah, how many of you want to fucking do that, right? Fuck yeah, you will. Fuck yeah, you will. There's not too many stories you're going to fucking write, especially about pain points, trauma points, like frustration points, anger points. Any of that, anything that is a negative in your fucking life that you can focus on and you speak the story out into existence, there's no way that once you see those words in that fucking story written out and connect with how you are creating that story, there's no fucking way you're going to keep that on your shelf. There's no fucking way that you're going to be like, you know what? That thing's a piece of shit. I'm going to keep it right here. I love this piece of shit. There's no fucking way. You're going to get really connected with how you want to fucking rewrite that shit. You're going to get really fucking curious about how the fuck you can change that shit. No fucking doubt about it. No fucking doubt about it. So definitely do that. Open up Google Docs, get the citation shit ready, or the dictation, whatever. And fucking think of something that's got your goat and watch yourself create that story. Fucking, and then burn that bitch. Burn that fucking shit, dude. Yeah, fucking shred that book. Fuck that thing. Fuck that thing. So that was a huge, I mean, that was the first thing that came up for me, right? Out of James Stoner's, like, I got like fucking 3 other pages of stuff. That was like literally the first thing that came up. And that was early on. And then letting your life be sloppy. I wrote these in big fat words and circled them. Let your fucking life be sloppy, man. Whose life isn't fucking sloppy? You're living it, man. You're fucking living it. Let your fucking life be sloppy. And don't be afraid of it either, man. Don't be afraid of the fucking mess. And don't even call it a fucking mess. Just let it be. Just let it fucking be. I could look around at my life right now and call it, it's fucking a mess. You know, I could say that. And that's a little bit, I mean, you're feeling it when I say that. Yeah, in a way, I do fucking believe that, based on the way that I've been indoctrinated and the stories that I have around how things, quote unquote, should be. Yeah, I still have those programs. Like, they're apparent. And those programs just totally flavored the tone in which I just spoke the word mess. When that tone indicates my beliefs and my stories around how my life should look like and why I think it's a mess. You know, it's a little bit of a mess. Or I could reframe it and be like, it's actually pretty fucking perfect. It's exactly the way it's supposed to be. It doesn't look like anything like anybody else's life looks like. Or I shouldn't say that. Like, I'm not so fucking unique that nobody's ever experienced what I'm going through. I know that's utter fucking bullshit. It's just not, how do I want to say? My life isn't traditional. It's certainly not something that most people would want to choose. You know, I'll put it that way. I'll frame it that way. Especially in the circle of people that I've had experience with, that I've grown up with, my family, my friends, you know, my peers, most of my peers, you know, would not choose to have their life look the way that I have, you know, one, that I've lived my life for the last 14 years, but certainly in the circumstances that I find myself in right now. Most of those people, if not all of them, would be like, yeah, no. I'm not going to make those choices. I'm not going to put myself in those positions. I'm not going to have that type of stress. And again, because of like how I'm practicing what I preach about, what stories am I telling myself about some of these things, I don't view it as stress most of the time. That's not to say that I don't feel stress about some of these things, because I certainly have. It's just that I've been working on it for so long that most of the time I don't feel a lot of stress or any stress about it. And because I've been working on it for so long, when I do feel the stress, I'm able to move through it fairly easily and pretty quickly, you know? And I would say fairly easily for sure, just because like I'm able to look back at the times when it's kind of like lifting weights, right? It's kind of like, well, yeah, I was about, you know, along a certain path, and like, yeah, I was able to lift this much, but now I'm able to lift this much, and it's a little bit easier, even though I'm lifting more. There's a mental game that goes on. It's like training for a marathon. It's kind of like, yeah, I was able to hit 15 miles, and then I hit this mental barrier, and now I'm able to get like 20 miles, and I hit another mental barrier. It's kind of like that. It's definitely a mental game, right? As far as like where you're at and how you manage these things. So, yeah. So anyway, let your life be sloppy. Fucking let your life be sloppy. And don't be afraid of it. Do not be afraid of it, you know? Fucking fuck, man. Nobody's life is fucking perfect. So just embrace it. Just let it be. Quit stressing out about it. It's not going to do you any fucking good, even if you do stress out about it. That's another reason I don't stress out about my shit most of the time, is because I'm like, even me stressing out about it totally doesn't do anything. And then if I'm going to go back to the first point that I was talking about, if I were to open up my Google Doc and see the fucking story that I'm talking about, if I'm coming from a place of stress, that's a pain point. And I sure as shit don't want a stress story in my life, you know? So I choose not to write one most of the time. You know, like, because it's not going to do any fucking good. And it puts me in a vibration that I really would rather not be in. You know, it's not what I'm trying to attract, you know? So that was another thing that that particular point, let your life be sloppy. All right. Awesome. Well, thank you all for listening. I really appreciate your patronage to my podcast. And I'll just go ahead and wrap it up here. So go live an inspired life so that you can inspire others to live their authentic and inspired life. Because at the end of the day, living an inspired life is a choice. All right, I love you guys. Until next time. Bye.